Hong Kong, 1935. In a small medicinal shop, German paleontologist Dr. Gustav von Koenigswald purchased a set of giant molars thought to be the teeth of an ancient dragon. After further study, von Koenigswald determined that he had stumbled upon the first fossil evidence of an extinct species of ape called Gigantopithecus. Standing 10 feet tall and weighing up to 1,200 pounds, this gigantic ape, believed to have lived alongside several early hominid species for tens of thousands of years, is the largest known primate to ever walk the earth. Might the creature known as Bigfoot be a descendant of this ancient beast?
A popular theory for the origins of Sasquatch is that it may be descended from a known great ape, Gigantopithecus, a giant ape that lived during the latter part of the Pleistocene and achieved, along with many other animals, gigantic proportions. As an ape with a small brain, it had extra crests and ridges of bone to provide attachment for the massive muscles to drive these very heavy jaws. By comparison, the gorilla has the crests and ridges that are found on Gigantopithecus or Bigfoot, presumably, to support the muscles attaching to a very small brain with a small cranial covering.
The skulls of Gigantopithecus and the modern-day gorilla are typical of large primates. But the human skull, a species also believed to have descended from large primates, is very different.
And the human skull is remarkably smaller, our distinction being the much greater cranial capacity, smaller jaws, smaller muscles to drive these jaws.
What can account for such significant differences in related species? And why are humans relatively hairless and possess brains far more advanced than other primates? Are we really the result of evolution? Or might the truth be that the real alien hybrid is not Bigfoot, but man?
What today is referred to as the missing link is extraterrestrial intervention, because without that extraterrestrial intervention, evolution did not take place the way we're told in school. Right after we shed our fur, for millennia, we had to keep warm by wearing furs. Yet, we used to have fur all over our body, so something doesn't make sense.
Our ancient ancestors here may well be, in a sense, aliens from some other solar system, perhaps the Greys. What they've done is manipulate what were already humanoids on this planet, but brute humanoids. Hairy, brutish people, the caveman of ancient times, but we're being genetically manipulated and given the DNA of these extraterrestrials.
The progression of the Darwinian evolution, looking at the Neanderthal man, the Australopithecine, all the way up to Cro-Magnon, it's very possible that that missing link is still being looked into. Now, I don't think they're ever going to find it, because the missing link more than likely was a genetic alteration on that hominid to make us.
Could Homo sapiens really be a species not indigenous to planet Earth? And if humans are the result of genetic engineering by alien beings, as ancient astronaut theorists believe, might Bigfoot creatures really be the last surviving examples of prehistoric hominids? Creatures who would have originally dominated this planet.
Is it possible that during the genetic manipulation of human beings, we at one point started out as Sasquatch and Bigfoot and Yetis?
One of the stories in the Sumerian myths is how the gods came into contact with this ape-like creature here on Earth and said, we can put our genetic marker on this creature and make man in our image and after our likeness. These ape-like hairy creatures existed here naturally on Earth, and are possibly the origins of how humanity was spliced by the Anunnaki into creating us that still exists today.
Might the legend of Bigfoot really be the story of Earth creatures who escaped experimentation by ancient aliens? And could this help explain why they have been hiding from man for thousands of years?
I think out of all the so-called paranormal phenomena that is scoffed at by science, we, at some point in the not-too-distant future, are going to have real, irrefutable evidence of the existence of these creatures. The fact that Bigfoot have been able to skirt about on the periphery and remain hidden and remain secretive and be seldom seen means that they're intelligent. But what happens when populations keep expanding, remote areas start getting settled, and Bigfoot starts to lose more and more of its territory? What's going to happen? Where's Bigfoot going to go?
I think this is extraordinarily powerful information to suggest that we were indeed engineered by ancient extraterrestrial beings, and Bigfoot might just be the first intelligent life here on Earth.
Is it possible that the legends of Bigfoot creatures are real? Could they have been the product of genetic manipulation by otherworldly beings? Or are humans the real alien creatures, manufactured by using alien and hominid DNA? If so, it might help to explain why Bigfoot is so elusive. Not because we are afraid of them, but because they are afraid of us.